Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Aces NFL show. Week 9 preview powered by our friends at PointsBet Sip. Let's kick it off with Thursday night football. The Dolphins did exactly what I told you they'd do. They'd shit the bed. I'm surprised they've still got a head coach. Their quarterback has two plays. Throw it to Waddle in this little slant, or he throws it to A-Chain or gives it to A-Chain. But when you got big Roquan there on the D-line and just eating up the run, they had nothing. They didn't even get a touchdown. It was actually annoying me. I wanted to see Lamar Jackson play the second half properly. In the end, they were just chewing the clock. Give me your thoughts on the game before we get into the Week 9 slate.
Mate, you hit the nail on the coffin, didn't you, in the end? It was an absolute shit show for the Miami Dolphins. So it's back to what we're used to be honest. What we've seen for the previous 6 weeks. And it was tough to watch from their point of view. But Baltimore are back. They are back, my friend. And I thought their offense was really good. Lamar Jackson changes it all up. But the other guy that you probably didn't mention was Kyle Hamilton. And the way you can move him around on defense when you get all those guys back, he is a dangerous man. Get him in safety, playing great coverage, get him up on that line. You can't stop him. Being able to move him all around the field is excellent to watch, and he was damaging. So that changes the whole dynamic of that Baltimore defense. The offense gets going, and they're back to where they should be and competing at the busy end of the year.
Mate, just on Kyle Hamilton, I just saw some highlights in the Uber back home from the Hard Rock. Geez, trying to get out of there, Sip. That's like... what would that be like? That'd be like trying to run the ball against that Ravens run D, I guess, as a skinny prick like me at 82 kilos with linguini arms. Anyway, I saw some highlights, and when he fakes to go to the tight end and then peels off and just rushes the quarterback, mate, he is so quick. And he's a perfect athlete. You know, watching him pre-game, he's quite tall. He's not. He used to be lean. He's pretty muscly now. He's such a weapon on D, and with all their corners, I think they've got it right. I mean, we saw Jair Alexander, a healthy scratch 2 weeks in a row. He's one of the premier corners a couple of years ago before his injuries at Green Bay. Good friends with Lamar. So they're going quite well, the Ravens, now that they're all back. And our man Rowe, you know, if they get past Kyle Hamilton when he blitzes, well, they don't get past Big Rowe many times. So he just eyed off A-Chain. He got a few yards, but on third down, they weren't going anywhere. So I thought it was clinical. Lamar Jackson he didn't really have to do much. I thought early days they were running it and thought, come on, let's just lean on the arm now. And he was just dealing it to whoever he liked. And I just said the word like. Likely is a guy that he does love. Him and Mark Andrews, it tends to go to the tight ends a bit. Then it opens up. Would have liked Flowers to get a few more yards and not get his ankles clipped. But, mate, an amazing game. I think that's the last game we'll see live unless we get to the Rams on Sunday. 50-50 on that one. But, yeah, I think to close it out, the Ravens are back, and I think they'll win that division. They have some really soft matchups coming up. It's going to be exciting. I actually said to the boys, I think they can win 11 in a row. If you look at their schedule, I think the Patriots and Green Bay might be the two toughest. Every other team they play, they should win. So it's going to be fascinating to see that. Anyway, let's get into the games. We've got plenty to talk about. Falcons at the Patriots. I mean, I want to just reiterate, Dolphins smacked the Falcons. The Patriots are flying. On paper, the 3-4 Falcons and the 6-2 Patriots, this should be easy. The Patriots have Gonzalez at cornerback. There's Drake London if he comes back. He probably goes to sleep. They got the best run D in the league almost. Bijan Robinson couldn't even run against the Dolphins. Derrick Henry just put up 119 tonight, plus Keaton Mitchell and all the rest of the boys. So you ask yourself, how are the Falcons going to score? And alternatively, they just got done by, I think Dolphins put 32 up on them last week. So, mate, this is just, for me, it's just simple. I think just Patriots just win. You?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you nailed it again. And the fact is that when you're getting 34 points against you last week, and then you go up against a team that is elite on the offense right now. They have a great system in the Patriots. I don't know where the Falcons go to from here. I mean, they've given us a bit of a false hope again. I reckon this is the third year in a row where they've started all right and we go, oh, the Falcons are coming. We're finally seeing it. And they find a way just to shit the bed and everything just falls apart around them. And I think we're seeing it again. I think they're in a bit of trouble. Patriots are on fire. As I said, they are just got all things going. Defense looks sharp. If they can get their run game going a little bit better, I think that would be the one area that they're probably lacking a little bit for the Patriots. But besides that, Drake May's throwing deep balls like he's been in the league for 15 years. He's using his legs when he needs to. And I think it's very, very simple, this one here, and the Patriots should be able to get it done pretty easily.
I haven't seen who's starting at quarterback. Hopefully Penix is starting there because Kirk Cousins just, once he's there, they load the box. Bajan, good luck. The things that I like in this one, I reckon Diggs in the slot for some yards. I got the touchdown last week. And I think Bajan receiving, I just think he'll get a lot of receptions, a bit like A-Chain tonight. He'll be used as a running back and a wide receiver, but I reckon they'll need him to bail them out a few times. So I like him, but yeah, I just think Patriots. Let's just keep it simple, -7. All right, let's go to the next game. Chargers at Titans. A couple of putchy ones just to talk about at the start. Again, I'll start. I just think they'll run the ball here. The O-line for the Titans is horrific. You just saw what the Vikings had to do last week. Obviously, Wentz, he couldn't get anything going, and I don't know if. I think Titans O-line versus Vikings O-line. I mean, Titans might be worse. So if you saw what the Chargers did to the Vikings, they might do something similar. I don't like anything from the Titans. One thing I'll say is that Tajay Spears, he's looked really good and explosive when he gets a go. So he might, if you've got him for, I think a prop, he might be one of those ones that gets 30 or 25-yard rush, or I don't know. I just feel like he might have an explosive play in him. But other than that, you just think that the Chargers would be clinical here, and I don't really like anything, to be honest, Sip. I think Keenan Allen might score, but I won't be really playing too much in this one. You?
No, I'll leave it alone, but I wouldn't mind putting a little bit of money down on a pick six. I'll tell you that right now. So that might be where a little bit lies there. But I don't know. You can guarantee that Cam Ward's going to be giving up the footy at some point there. He's done it every single week, and I think that continues. The Chargers are starting to get healthy on defense as well. But otherwise, you are loading up on the Chargers to win this one pretty easily.
And they do love to run the ball. Joe Alt back last week. I think they're 4-4 when he plays. And I think Vidal put up 120 rushing yards on the Vikings. So, look, that's probably a guy you want to turn to. Again, they might want to lean on him. Generally, when you win games of football easily, the running back has a day out. So, look at that market as well. All right, next game, Bears at Bengals. I'll start again. Joe Flacco, I don't know if he's going to play. Let's say he doesn't play. That is ugly. And what's ugly is the Bengals run D. They are horrific. My research tells me Swift will be loading up here. They'll want to get back to what they love, which is running the ball. We know Ben Johnson loves to run the ball. And the other one is Loveland. I've done a fair bit of prep on this game. He's a guy I've chased for a touchdown all year, as well as Matthew Golden. They're probably the two that have really rinsed me and you. But he has started to increase his workload and his reps and his targets, and I reckon they'll cook something up for him in this game. So Swift yards, most likely a touchdown, Loveland receiving yards, and maybe the touchdown as well. I don't like anything for the Bengals, especially if Flacco's not out there. Now, if he is out there, I don't mind him throwing the ball on this secondary, but I expect the Bears to win this one on the road. Sip, you?
Yeah, I'm just going to be looking at the wide receivers, to be honest, for the Bears. And, if there's an opportunity to get DJ Moore involved, this is the game. I mean,
I've given up.
I know. The secondary is woeful. Like, let's get it going. If it's not him, then we know who he's going to, and he's going to Adunze. And he has been playing some really good ball all year. That's his guy at the moment. That's where I'm looking right now for him. But surely it's an opportunity with that secondary being really woeful that DJ Moore can get involved. Let's get a big game out of him. I'd love to see it, but it's going to be Odunze. He's on fire. That seems to be the one I'm going to be looking at.
Yeah, well said. I mean, he's been the guy all year, but DJ Moore's questionable on my sleeper app. Now, he's questionable most weeks because he cops a bit of a hiding, but he'll be questionable on my my same game multis on the PointsBet app because I think he had a deep catch last week late, which got him over 70 yards. But you take that out, he was stuck on that 30 again. Remember how we keep saying he's not a 40-yard wide receiver, but he has been this year. I don't know why. I feel like he's ready to go, but this could be the one that gets him out of trouble. Who knows? Let's move on. Colts at Steelers. Steelers giving up so many yards. They have, they're renowned. So is I guess all the teams in that division. division, the Ravens, the Browns, the Bengals, they've traditionally given up a bit, and the Steelers, we're all giving up yards, and the Colts are the hottest team on offense we've seen in years. This one screams your man Warren. You saw what Kraft did last week. He was down last week as well, but I just feel like it screams him for yards. I mean, JT is the MVP. Can he continue? I think he can. He gets another good matchup. But again, when we're looking at props, there's no real cash there. The line will probably be 110 for yards, and his tutty's probably $1.30. So I'll be looking at Warren for yards. And the other one's DK Metcalf. I mean, he's been really low, and they don't really have anyone else but him. It's like a tight end room and him. And with Frymoose getting banged up with a quad, I expect him to get a few more looks. So, I mean, the Colts are giving up a bit. So I'm going back to DK Metcalf for some receiving yards. And I get a sneaky feeling this will be closer than we think. For the first time this week, I thought, what's the game that might go a bit weird? Well, this is the one where I go, do the Steelers stamp something down? And they might lose by a field goal, but I don't know. I feel like the Colts have been up for a long time, and this is one that could get away from them. As my sneaky roughie, I'm not saying I'm going to back it at all. I expect the Colts to win, and they get the perfect matchup, but we know it's a funny world, the NFL, and there's something about the Steelers where just the defense. Can they do what the Ravens have done the last 3 weeks and just start to, just get back to basics and stop teams from scoring? Maybe not this week, but yeah, I don't really like anything else but Warren and DK Metcalf. Sip.
Well, the defense for the Steelers need to turn something around pretty quickly because you've invested a fuck ton of money to get
exactly right.
And you're giving up 30 points a game, 33 points a game, something around that. And you're coming up against the best offense in the competition right now that are, putting up 34 points a game right now. So I'd love it to be close. I think it helps being at the Steelers. I think that helps a little bit in terms of getting it, a bit closer. But that defense on the Steelers side needs to change something very, very quickly to make that happen. But I'm with you there. I'm excited what Warren can do. We saw what Kraft has done. Their wide receivers are dangerous as well. I mean, they've got so many weapons there. Good luck to you. So I'm liking a lot of things from the Colts right now.
Yeah, they are flying. It's almost hard to pick, isn't it? You got, the guy that's owed me a little bit of cash is Alec Pierce. I took him for a 50-yard reception and a tud on the American Aces hub last week. Well, he got the 50-yard reception, but he didn't get the tud. And normally when you get them, Sip, it's a deep ball. I couldn't believe it. So he's a really good receiver, Alec Pierce, and I think he gets the perfect matchup. Pittman will get their best corner, whether it's Ramsey or I don't know who if they're healthy, the other ones, but I just think he's due. And I know you shouldn't say they're due, but he certainly is. So Warren to do the work and Alec Pierce for the tud. And I think the other guys, Warren's been a really good pickup for us in fantasy. He's a bit of a workhorse. Rushes, he receives, so he might get a little bit of work there as well. Let's keep moving on. There's plenty of games to talk about. This one's actually exciting. I'm looking forward to watching this game. I know you will be as well. 49ers at the Giants. The reason I'll say that is because the Giants have the worst run D in the competition, and Christian McCaffrey and the 49ers, that is their one wood. They'll stick to it. They don't have a lot else going on. Kittle's back. Juszczyk's a great fullback. We know that Tongs and all these other guys can block. So I actually like C-Mac to get the run game going with a bit of Kittle peeling off. And then on the flip side, they have no pressure. Like their defense allowed CJ Stroud to throw like 250 yards in a half last week. He didn't get sacked for the first time all year. CJ Stroud looked like Patrick Mahomes. This is a perfect spot for Dart. And the guy that I love this week, when I get a feeling, Morgs, clip this one up, big boy. It is the Slayton show. I want you all to know this is going to be the Slayton show. Slayton is going to slay this secondary. I'm telling you now. They have nothing. I think Dart will get so much time to just sit there. He can scramble. He had a 60-yard receiving touchdown called back last week for PI, which wasn't there. The refs were just, it was horrific, some of the decisions. Almost as bad as the one we saw tonight when Waddle caught that deep ball. But I'm telling you, Slayton is going to slay this secondary of the Niners, and I really like him this week. He'll be one of my best bets. I think he'll get yards. I think he'll get touchdowns. but he's just going to fill that neighbour's role. So I'm looking at 2 guys in this game, and that is Christian McCaffrey and Slayton for receiving yards. And another one would be Dart passing yards. If you want a security bet, 200 passing yards from Dart, you'd think that's the go, because Scatman ain't there anymore. They have some backups, but I reckon they'll lean on his arm. Sip?
No, I love it. Great call. That's perfect. I love what you're doing. Big man.
Beautiful. Well, you got anything else to add to that, or are you happy with what I've said?
I'm happy with what you said. I think that direction that you're taking is absolutely spot on. There is no need for me to add anything else. They're the main guys that are going to be part of it, and let's roll with it.
You love big calls because you got your big balls out last week, and now everyone's going to see them down Hoddle, aren't they?
Right, and that's what I'm going to do it. Let's go, baby.
All right, this game you can take away because I don't like it at all. Broncos at Texans. You talk to me, King, because the Texans have the best defense in the league.
It's going to be interesting. Pat Surtain's going to be out, so does Nico Collins get back and get involved? If the Texans can get something going again like they did last week and maybe figure it out, then CJ Stroud could be on his way again. But they're coming up against a team that loves rushing the quarterback. So we have seen what CJ does when he's getting rushed, and it is not very good. So I think it's going to be a tough one for the Texans again. They don't know how to handle the pressure. That's where the O-line really struggles. So I'm going to be looking. I'm looking at the other end here for the Broncos. I think they're going to take a lot out of what Jackson Smith-Njigba was able to do against them a couple of weeks ago. And I think that's an opportunity for Cortland Sutton to get involved, Troy Franklin to get involved, and Mims. They're the guys that I think that are really open up. They complement each other really, really well. Bo is throwing the ball really, really well. He seems to be seeing the field really nicely. And I'm going to be looking towards their wide receivers and how they go about it. I think the Texans, they are solid on defense, but there's too many guys to cover there, if I'm going to be honest. I think the run game they'll be able to kind of contain, but I'm going to be looking for the wide receivers and really opening up the pass game a little bit more. And I think the Texans might find it a little difficult. If Nico Collins can get going and get back healthy, then I'd certainly be looking for him now that Surtain's out. But I'm excited what these Denver Broncos wide receivers can do.
Really well said. We missed out on the Mims deep ball last week. He actually had it, but it was pass interference, so that was devastating, and everyone else seemed to get them. Just some quick stats I actually wrote down as I was doing some research. So CJ Stroud didn't take a sack last week, which is wild. The Texans' defense really good. Surtain will miss. You've already touched on that. Nico Collins returns. But we can't forget how bad the Texans' O-line is and how good the pressure is from the Broncos' D-line. This is a recipe for disaster for that O-line and CJ Stroud, especially coming off a nice, easy win. You know, and you have a really good win next week, you get smacked. A bit like the Dolphins tonight. You cruise to victory, and then you get the Ravens, and it just all of a sudden, you know, look at every press conference, look at all the quote graphics on Instagram. It's like we had some really big, deep convos. Of course you did, because you got ahead of yourselves. This is a similar scenario here. I think the Broncos are going to get it done, not easy, but I just think they can lean on their defense and offense, where I don't reckon the Texans have the offense to help their defense. CJ Stroud is the 3rd worst quarterback against pressure in the competition, and Broncos are a top 5 defense with pressure rating. So you do the math on that. The only thing I do like is Nico Collins. He'll get man coverage without Surtain. I like him. I think he can make a play. And Nico one-on-one, you back that guy in. It's just a matter of, can CJ Stroud escape the pocket, buy some time? Is there play action? We know their run game's not really there. So, yeah, I like Nico Collins in this one for a big catch. But, yeah, I think the Broncos should be too good. And the one that I'll be leaning on is Evan Ingram. Stingley will go to Sutton. I don't want to play there. Mims and Franklin, a bit inconsistent. Evan Ingram has been spoken about as a unicorn by his head coach. I think Evan Ingram will be a guy that can, if you've got receptions, maybe he'll catch 4 or 5 balls, but they might lean on Evan Ingram. So that's the only thing that I like in that game. Let's keep moving, Sip, while we're talking about all these games. All right, there's another one coming up that's ugly. This is going to be really ugly. I watched this team live last week. Carson Wentz is now out. JJ McCarthy comes back off a 5-week or 4-week, whatever holiday he's had, resting. I think he's been healthy. Have you watched that clip last week where he jumped over someone? They said he's got a sore ankle. There's nothing wrong with his ankle, King. He was ready to go. They were just stashing him, trying to hide him. Now he goes up against the Lions. I think Hayden Hutchinson just signed a monster deal, and he'll be ready to just prove them just right. This is ugly. And I have a gem. I have a little gem as well. I probably shouldn't have went so hard on Slayton because this is probably an easier one. But I sent you something today about Jamison Williams because we've been wondering why has he not been getting the targets. Well, listen to a quote that his offensive coordinator said. Listen to this and listen to this clearly. It's the Lions offensive coordinator, John Morton, says he's failed his wide receiver in Jamison Williams and will do a better job of getting him the ball moving forward. I looked at everything as far as that. I'm doing a better job with that, but there has to be opportunities where it just didn't happen. It's like we weren't going to try to target him, Morton said. They've sat down and the OC has said, I'm going to find you more opportunities, and Williams has forgiven him, and they get to go up against a team that I think they can just light them up. I mean, you got Gibbs, Montgomery, Amon-Ra, Laporta, Goff, that O-line with Penei Sewell and the boys. I'd take your pick, but it just comes down to play calling. So I'll say it again, Jamison Williams, look for targets, but this one, I just love a touchdown. I just think when they get to the red zone, where is he? One-on-one, bang. Okay, same as Stephon Diggs last week. You're shy. You're 3rd and 1 at the goal line. Let's just go again at you. Oh, touchdown. This is going to be a Jamison Williams bounce-back game. I love it, and I hate everything for the Vikings. I think this is a nightmare matchup for JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, well, history has proven in the past that Detroit find a way to score against this team no matter how good their defense is. They just somehow match up well against them. And we saw it last year in the last round for the number 1 spot in the NFC. And you saw what the Detroit Lions were able to do. They were strong as hell. And the same situation again. They're lacking a little bit in the secondary, the Lions, but their D-line are hunters, and they're going to get after this young quarterback, and he's not going to know what's hit him, and it's going to be right in his face the whole time. So it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one for the Minnesota Vikings. Their offense won't be able to complement their defense. You might see a few 3-and-outs earlier on, but then Detroit will just open it up. And again, I love watching the Detroit Lions. It is a fantasy dream because 1 or 2 of them are going to pop off every single week. You don't know which one, but there is options everywhere. So it's a scary thought. Detroit Lions at home, they haven't lost this year, and that will continue.
Really well said. Talking about popping off, the head coach, Big Plums, Dan Campbell, said they want to even up the backfield. Well, Gibbs absolutely dominated last game against the Bucs. I wonder if Monty gets to work here. You know, we saw Vidal just run the ball and really just wear them down purely because their offense couldn't stay on the park and the defense was tired. So I don't mind Monty just getting to work here. I wouldn't be surprised that first drive, out comes Monty, Gibbs go have a spell, and Gibbs' fantasy owners are just filthy, and Monty scores that first one. So I'm looking at Monty, and I'm looking at Jamison Williams bounce back, mate. And I want to see a Justin Jefferson anytime Tud more than anyone. Geez, he cost us our trip. I spoke to Morgs and said we could pay for that trip. Every single game I've been to, the team I thought would win has smoked them. I'm talking even Miami Heat. We've had every single thing, and Justin Jefferson stopped us from continuing that one. So that was really disappointing. You watch, he'll go out and score. But again, I just can't wait to see Jamison Williams and that OC. Next game, you can take this one away because I've actually written down, don't like anything but Christian Watson touchdown. Panthers at Packers.
Look, it's all going to depend on how much they want to run the ball and who's going to do it. Josh Jacobs is a little banged up, but if he can get himself healthy, then this is an absolute field day for him right now. We saw how bad they were at stopping the run last week, the Panthers, so I'm all in on Josh Jacobs. If he gets that calf right, that's the only thing I'm looking forward to, really. And Tucker Kraft, I mean, just keep going to him. Jordan Love loves him. Get it going.
Yeah, well said. James Cook, 200 yards and 2 touchdowns for anyone wondering what Sip's talking about against the Panthers run D. Yeah, all my research says Jacobs bounced back. He wouldn't be happy with his, production. He had 2 tuds, but he's not getting a lot of yards. I think he only had 40 yards. So, interesting one. It's one of those guys that, do I really want to play, with fire? Because you get no real value. So I'll probably stay away. Matthew Golden is the guy. I'll talk to you about it another time because it's 1:37 a.m. here, and I don't think I need to waste a bit of breath on Matthew Golden any longer because he has just reamed me. But he's just not even getting looks, and now that Watson's back, I feel like Watson's just going to take away some usage. Look, he's Stewie. He hasn't had a tud all year. He's out there, but I haven't seen any interviews of the head coach or offensive coordinator or anyone saying we're trying to find him a touchdown. There's been none of that. Where Diggs last week, I could see a little bit of it. So, yeah, it's a tough one there. But in terms of that game, it's really, one-sided, isn't it? It's going to be a bit of a ugly day, you'd think. Maybe they bounce back for a half, but the Packers should be able to open them up there with Jordan Love playing at a high level. Let's keep moving on, mate. We get to the late games now. It's the Jags at the Raiders. I really like this game. I think this game will be a good game, only because both teams are going pretty average. Jags are 4-3, Raiders are 2-5, but the Raiders are going really bad, and they've got Lockett in the building. Brock Bowers is back. They've had a bit of time, both of these teams, to prepare for this one. But the fact that it's at the Raiders, I'm just thinking, can they bounce back? And I'm hoping it's through Brock Bowers and Myers. I mean, they've got all the weapons there on offense, Crosby on defense. So Trevor Lawrence, he hasn't done it for me. I know he beat the Chiefs, but I don't know. There's games where he's thrown picks and people have dropped them. This will be interesting. I would not be surprised if Raiders win. I haven't got the points bet up in front of me at the moment, so I'm not sure. In fact, I'll get it up while you talk. But if the Raiders win, then, you got to think Brock Bowers, Myers, and then Juice Genti finishes with a tud on the goal line. What do you like in this one, mate?
Oh, look, I just think in the end, if the Jaguars really want to, compete and chance to be able to try and make the playoffs, then Brian Thomas needs to get involved. He was unbelievable in his rookie year last year, and we haven't seen the same production. Obviously, he's going to be looked into a bit more, and the number one guy from the defensive side is going to take him every single week. But you find a way to get the ball to your best player, and that needs to start to happen. Hopefully, they've been able to fix up a few things during their bye week. And you start to see him a little more with his production. I think it's a great opportunity for that to occur against this Raiders defense, and let's find a way to get him involved. I like what he's been able to do, but you just got to get more of it. So maybe having Hunter on the offensive side of the ball can help that a little bit more. He was pretty good before their bye. So that's where I want to see it. And right now, I think you just have to go with the team that's slightly better right now in most areas, and it's going to have to be the Jags, because the Raiders have been a tough watch. Let's see what their chemistry is like. But if Geno continues to throw picks, they're going to find it hard to get anything going.
Yeah, let's not forget the Rams smoked the Jags in London without Puka as well, 35-7. So, they're coming off a pretty bad loss. So this game will be fascinating. Just looked at the points bet up then, and we're looking at $2.30 for the Raiders and $1.67. They got the line at 2.5. So they think it's going to be close as well. Over under at 44.5. I just think Juice Genti at $2. I mean, I just think he'll rush it in. If you go by what Matty Stafford did, he's just dealing it to anyone. So Myers hasn't scored a touchdown in 5 weeks, neither is Bowers. So, I mean, when Geno was going, when he was playing at Seattle, like Lockett and DK, they'd score almost every week. I wonder if Pete Carroll's cooking something up in the bye. Anyway, let's keep moving on. That'll be a good game, though. Like you said, Brian Thomas's line's 55.5. You'd think if they are trailing, that's an absolute snack. Travis Hunter coming off the 100-yard game without him. All right, let's keep moving on as I keep going. I've got to find my schedule here. The next game on the slate is the Saints at the Rams. This is the one that we might go have a look at. Sip, I'm going to fly back to LA. I might just sneak over to SoFi and have a little geeze. Maybe. I don't know if I really want to, though, because the Saints are huge. Rams are hot. Puka Nakua's back. I just think this is pretty simple. Puka Nakua will get all the yards. Kyron Williams will probably finish it off. And, the Saints will do what they do, and with that young quarterback, I think the Rams can win by 14 plus.
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to be hunting another young quarterback First game in for the year, so they've made that change. Spencer Rattler's out, and it's just going to be, it could be really, really ugly here. It could be another 35-7 game for the Rams, and they're going to be in absolute cruise control. So you could look anywhere for this Rams offense. I think everything is going to look pretty nice, but Puka's back. It's only worse for the Saints, and I think this one's going to be very, very comfortable for the Rams. I might add quickly, Tommy, as well, just before we continue on, that the times are going to change as well. In Australia, 5 a.m. starts now, so the clock's getting pushed out even further. So for all you fans out there, just a quick reminder, first games are going to be starting 5 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So a little extra sleep in again for the Aussie fans. And hopefully everyone enjoys that, and you'll be up at 5 a.m. watching like I am.
That's big, Sip. That's very big. I wish that was I don't know what the go is in LA. I'm pretty sure it's still 10 a.m. So I've got to get there Saturday night off a pool party hammered, or head over there with very little sleep in the morning. I think I'm going to fly Saturday night hammered so I can get down to Mutts on my own and just perch up down at Newport and not talk to anyone, just look at the screen. That's big. That is big news for when I get home next week. Tell you what, I thought I'd go over here and you think it's holiday. This has been quite tough doing this NFL trip podcast at 2 a.m. But it's been enjoyable, Sip, but it's been tougher than I thought. Anyway, back on track. Mate, just on the Rams and the Saints, I mean, this is going to be so ugly. We said at the start of the year, I think I might have said the Saints, they might not win a game. I think they've got one under their belt, but I don't reckon they'll win another game for the rest of the year. And as a head coach, I know Moore took the role, but that's probably one of those ones that he probably wishes he just passed off, because he could have got another team like the Dolphins. I reckon I'd rather be in Miami than in New Orleans. Anyway, let's move on to one of the biggest games of the week. I actually watched the highlights of this game that they played a handful of years ago. It is the Chiefs at the Bills, the rivalry game. But the reason this is so big, 5-3 the Chiefs, the Bills 5-2. This is just enormous. Like, the winner of this will then sneak back into contention for that 1 seed. I feel like if you lose this one, you might not be able to even win your division, because Patriots are flying for the Bills and the Chiefs. They've got to fight the Chargers and the Broncos. So this game is absolute box office. And I can't wait. And you got Cook running the ball like he is, but the Chiefs don't let you run the ball. So I've actually got Allen using his legs and Kincaid getting involved heavily. And, maybe one of my best bets has to be Josh Allen, 2 passing touchdowns, because you've got to think this thing's going up and down. And Mahomes and Rashee Rice, they can move him anywhere. He does it all. He was quiet last week and he had 90 yards. So I just think he's a machine. Kelsey is always the one that they try to stop, the Bills. But you got to contend with Worthy, Rice, Hollywood Brown, even Pacheco's starting to look good. Mahomes is using his legs. So the guy that I like, and is obviously Rashee Rice, but I want to look at Worthy again. He let me down last week a little bit because he wasn't really required. Mariota and the boys like Debo Debo's catching the ball like me out there. The ball hit him in the helmet, popped straight up to the defense. I thought, that's beautiful for the overs, isn't it? So, mate, that's this game should be up and down, and I reckon it'll be via the arm, especially for Allen. So this is gonna be fun. What do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, I think interesting. I think Pacheco is out injured, hurt the MCL again, so that'll be an interesting one to watch there. So Kareem Hunt might get a few more snaps. I love what Patrick Mahomes is doing right now. He is back to his best, and he could open up this defense with the amount of obviously with all the weapons that he's got. But what a game. I mean, the last 3 or 4 years when these two teams have met, it's just been absolute highlight reel, quality football being played. It's amazing. And you're totally right. I mean, it's so incredible to say, but we're at week 9. And division spots are on the line right now for these two teams. They've obviously, the Chiefs would have liked to have started off a little bit better. They're finding their groove. And the Bills have obviously been shocked by what the Patriots have been able to do. So this is a massive game for both these organisations. You're definitely right. Whoever I think loses this is going to find it very tough to win their division now. Maybe the Bills might have a little bit more leniency because the Patriots are a young team, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But for me, I love what the Chiefs are doing right now. They are playing complementary football. The offense is firing on all cylinders. Their defense has been good for the last couple of years, and they're standing up and delivering. And for me, as I said, Patrick for 250, 2 passing touchdowns. He's got the weapons everywhere. He'll open up that defense, and I'm really liking what he's doing right now.
Josh Allen's line's 235. You've got to think that's too low on the points bet up. You take the overs on that. Mahomes' line's 275 with Pacheco out. They don't really lean on the run. They'll just say, just block for me. I'll do it with my arm. And then I look to the, Rashee Rice, 75.5. Worthy's line's 45.5. He had 53. What did he have last week? 53, and he was quiet. We're looking for that tud. And then Dalton Kincaid, the guy that I really like. I mean, you get these lines 35.5. If they're going to lean on the arm, which I think they will, I know Cook is a stud, but the Chiefs don't let you run the ball now unless they can break that barrier down. I just don't think they'll get beat that way. I think they'll say, let's stop the run and let him beat us with the arm. And with the game total at 52.5, you got to think it's up and down. So I just love the passing yards in this one from the Bills side of things. Mate, it's going to be a cracker. Chiefs are favourite, $1.77, and I think that's probably right. Atlanta smacking Bills a couple of weeks ago scares me. They didn't really, the Panthers, they're not much chop, so the Chiefs are flying. I've always rooted against them, but I'm going to use my head here. I don't really care about either of these teams because I'm a Ravens man, and we have to play both of them in the postseason. They're both just giving me nightmares. So for this one, I might as well jump on the Chiefs. They've got a better record the last 5 weeks as well with 4 wins and 1 loss. Yep. So, mate, fascinating. But that is our blockbuster before we head to Sunday Night Football, where we get the team that we love. This is probably my second team now, Seattle Seahawks. They looked after us a treat a couple of weeks ago, and they're going really well. They've had the bye. Commanders, Terry McLaurin with the quad or whatever injury it is, he's out. I don't think Jaden Daniels is back yet. So you're looking at Marcus Mariota, and this defense is really nice from Seattle. They've got a nice identity. If I say nice again, you wonder why. It's 1:48 a.m. and that's not nice. So look, Seattle for me at $1.63 on the road. Jackson Smith-Njigba, can he keep going? I mean, I just want to see him break the record, Sib. So he gets a good matchup, doesn't he? He plays one of the teams that just struggles in the secondary. So I'll be looking his way, and you got to think Deebo Samuel's the only other option, really.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I don't know where else Washington look now. I'm not sure if Daniels is back yet, but it just screams JSN. I mean, what he was able to do against that Texas defense, he's had a week off. He comes up against a very, very vulnerable Washington team. And you know what? Like, I'm really, really tempted to put my plums on the line again. This could be my double or nothing.
Do it. I don't mind it. Do it. Jackson. What are we talking? 140 or are we talking 100?
I'll go 125.
Okay, so I think we'll put this to a poll. Okay, take some notes there, Morgsy. Let's put this to a poll, and if we can get over 50% of votes, Sip is going to do double or nothing on the Nudie Run. That JSM will get 125 receiving yards against Washington Commanders. Yep. Now, if you don't, I think it's got to be a Nudie Run, and it's got to be $1,000 that we donate to a charity. I mean, you got to have something. I don't know whether it's 1,000, but it's got to be something because people want to see you get the plums out down Hoddle King.
No doubt, that's fine. But I'm confident we can do that. That can be all sorted and arranged. But I'll put the plums on the line again for Smith-Njigba for 125 plus.
I'm happy to donate 500. By the way, brother. I'm here to support you, and I want to see plums on the line every week.
Let's go. We're putting plums out on the line. We may as well continue this trend and let's hit it.
All right, so we'll put it to the poll. The people listening to this podcast need to vote. If you're listening to this, get in the Spotify comments or Instagram. If you're watching YouTube, just let us know. Are you for or against the double or nothing? And if Jackson Smith-Njigba gets 125 receiving yards, that means no more Nudie Run, double or nothing. But if he goes below that, it's a Nudie Run and $1,000 charity. $1,000 to a charity of someone's choice, probably yours, Sip. All right, well, that's very good value. I love it. I'll probably have to do something similar when I get home. If I make it, Sip, if I make it. All right, the last game. I think this game is just incredible. This is going to be fun. The line's 53.5. Dallas Cowboys do not play defense. They're bouncing back. Hey, it's at their home deck, though, and they don't lose there. So I'll start with that. Dallas will win this game. I'm certain of this. I think Dallas win. But the one player on the other team that I love, Marvin Harrison Jr. This has deep ball all over it. He gets a great matchup. I think you can just, anyone that's a great receiver that runs those routes, he's going to get a look. I think this is going to be a fun game. So I'm looking at Marvin Harrison Jr. and CD Lamb, and I think that the Dallas Cowboys will win. I'll cook that up as a same game multi. I am certain of it. They'll be disappointed with themselves, the Cowboys, but they still look slick. But once they fall behind, it just becomes a bit too hard. And as we saw, Dak throws a pick, and then it becomes even harder. So this is exciting. I think Dallas at $1.71 against the Cardinals. Mind you, the Cardinals, if I'm reading this correctly, they're on a 5 losing streak. That's not great, is it? But they've been going pretty well at the start of the year. I just think Dallas Cowboys win at home. And I've said that enough. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I think Kyler Murray's back, so you may as well eliminate Trey McBride from any same-game multi because he just doesn't give it to him. So we'll throw that out.
Well, no, doesn't get a touchdown, but he's been hot the last month, and we've missed, King. We've missed because we thought the beef brisket couldn't throw. The beef brisket's one of the better quarterbacks in the league.
So I wish the beef brisket was still playing because I'd throw Trey McBride in there like there's no tomorrow. So that might change things up a little bit, but I like what we were saying. I think it hurts with the running with the Cardinals just not having a decent running back to be able to open the game up for them. It's really hurting them right now. Maybe someone pops up because the Cowboys have struggled in that area too. So maybe it helps them a little bit more and can free up Kyler in the offense. But yeah, I like what I see. I think Dak throwing the ball is just obviously a given. He's got the two-headed monster in CD Lamb and Pickens, and I think Ferguson had a pretty quiet game last week for National Tight Ends Day, and I don't expect that to happen again. I think Ferguson's going to be back, and you'll see him in a big way.
Yeah, love it. I mean, they're the guys, aren't they? Hopefully Dak throws the ball. I just think it could be a simple one, couldn't it? It could just be Pickens, Lamb, Harrison Jr., and they're all getting tuds. And, the Cowboys, to me, at home, I just feel like they always win at home, so you shouldn't put head-to-head in if you're having those players in a little SGM. But, mate, it's going to be fun. I think, just to quickly recap, I want you to recap your kind of plays this week. But I'm looking at these games. Falcons-Patriots, I expect the Patriots to win. Monitoring Bijan Robinson in the backfield. Chargers-Titans, Chargers with the run, and Keenan Allen to finish it off. Titans, just O-line should get mauled. Bears-Bengals, Swift to dominate. Loveland is my anytime value play. Pending Flacco, I think if he plays, you can get on T. Higgins and Chase. If he doesn't, it'll be ugly. Colts, Steelers, danger game. I'm putting a danger zone all over it. I don't know why. I've just got this feeling. Colts are flying, mind you, but Steelers and that and Tomlin and the way they coached, there's got to be a meeting this week internally where they're going, we're paying you boys too much on defense. You need to stop something. And if they stop Taylor early, then it might upset their flow. 49ers, Giants, Slayton to slay, C-Mac to rush, Broncos, Texans, ugly as fuck. Broncos have a better offense, so they should win. Texans, they got it easy last week, but this is a nightmare matchup for Stroud. We know Nico Collins is back. He gets man, maybe a deep ball. Vikings, Lions. Lions will absolutely smoke them. JJ McCarthy hopefully can survive, and we know that my man Jamison Williams is going to get targets. Panthers, Packers, we expect the run game to return. The Panthers are struggling. Jags, Raiders, really good game to watch. We don't know what's going to happen. I like Raiders. Sip, you like Jags. Saints, Rams, we've got a rookie quarterback starting. Rams are going to maul them. Puka's back. Chiefs, Bills, blockbuster. I expect the arm to be used because the Chiefs stop the run. Seahawks, Commanders, you put your plums on the line. JSN 125, we're getting behind that. We both think the Chiefs will probably win. We don't really care, though. That'll be absolutely fascinating. And then we get the Seahawks and Commanders, JSN, and then Cardinals, Cowboys to finish. This will be a high-scoring week. I can't wait. Did I nail it all right?
You've nailed it, mate. That's awesome. I think fantasy should be up and about this week too. We should see some high-scoring affairs, so I need something, that's for sure.
You certainly do, because I'm playing you, and we put Mark Andrews in and Lamar Jackson returned, and I tell you what, I've just been licking me lips having a look at I could not believe. I go, who are we playing this week? Oh, it's Slim Pickens. It's actually Guinea and Sip. And we're giving you an old-fashioned hiding so far.
You beauty.
You know why he's not getting upset to everyone listening? Because he knows his season's done. He's 1-7, and he's had 4 of the baddest beats I've ever seen. Devo Samuel last week, he needed 2 points, and the big fella hit his helmet and didn't get another catch. Anyway, I think it's the time to go to bed. It's 1:56 a.m. If anyone out there questions our integrity and our desire to get you this shit on time, or have a good hard look at yourself, and you think we're going all right, our man Morgs has to fucking edit the thing, so you get behind Morgs as well, Sip. You get right behind him. Without him, this doesn't make it online. So we're paddling, aren't we? We're nearly there. This is the last podcast on the road, but we appreciate everyone that gets around it. And again, all these bets are going to be on the Oz American Aces Hub on the PointsBet app. We get so many people. What's the play this week? What do you like this week? Well, it's all there. We've got crazy markets you can't find anywhere. Same game multis for the games we like. And obviously, if you listen to this podcast, well, you should be able to get on there and cook them up while you're listening. Sip, anything else before we round it out, mate?
Nah, mate. Just as I said, reiterate, 5 a.m. starts now, everyone. 5 a.m. starts, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're all over it. Big week ahead. Let's go.
5 a.m. starts. That's like an hour Uber from Hard Rock versus 3 hours on the way there. That is Christmas. That is Christmas. All right, that's enough, mate. That's enough. I need to go to bed. Thanks, Sip. Good work to everyone listening. Thank you. And we'll see you same time. Well, actually, not same time next week. When we're back in the studio next week, we'll see you then. But cheers.
It's like tackling a block of cheese.
Fire up your NFL season with PointsBet. Now with NFL Bet Tracker. Bet on NFL markets like passing yards or receptions and follow them live in the PointsBet app. Yeah, that's built different. Imagine what you could be buying instead.